Hello and welcome back to Invictus Launch Week 2952, an in-game Star Citizen event, and the most fun bit is ship sale. Right now it's May 22nd to 23rd, basically the second ship brand in Star Citizen, which is Aegis Dynamics. So like, subscribe, hit the notification button for more tips and tricks, and of course more Star Citizen news. And let's check out what is in store for us for Aegis Dynamics today. And this is one of the biggest, it is one of the biggest brand, or rather the primary military brand for the Star Citizen military UEEN thingy, right? Biggest brand supplier, or biggest military supplier? Let's check it out. All right, so you've seen some big ships, and of course we have a lot of big ships from Aegis Dynamics. Let's start off with the ship that you can fly today for free, and that's right. Do note that most of the ship value here right now is, well, if you want to support the game, that's how much you're gonna pay or how much you want to pledge. But at the same time, all these ships are buyable with in-game currency, and we're gonna have a small little PSA on how can you get Star Citizen, or rather play Star Citizen for free and get into Star Citizen with minimum costs. Alright, let's move on to the first ship is Avenger Stalker, $60. This is actually a very nice combat ship introduction, but personally, let's go a little bit cheaper. Let's go to the Avenger Titan at $55. That's right, this is the best. In fact, this is the golden child, or the poster child for all starter ship relatable. And personally, this ship is just too good. The value is that good. In fact, I think either 2 years or 3 years ago, it was valued at $50. It's even better in my opinion. But $55, it's still miles away from all the starter ships that is available in Star Citizen. And best part is, well, it's available as a discounted starter pack. That's right, if you check 2 days or 2 videos ago for Star Citizen, I did cover a little bit, and of course we're gonna cover again every time when there's a new brand. That's right, because it is important for you guys out there to get in Star Citizen for cheap, and you know what? Win-win. Well, the dollar value. Next, we move on to the Avenger Titan Renegade. Now, this one has a special skin, or rather special Hall Revian that you cannot get in the game. Or rather, you cannot buy the skin, which is quite interesting. $75. Ugh, a little bit more expensive. $20 more. You get skin plus. All right. So there's a different weapon loadout for the Avenger Titan compared to the Renegade. So in my opinion, $20 for a skin. Personally, I will always skip skin. Buy more ships. That's the whole idea. So in my opinion, I would say skip. Next, we have the Avenger Warlock. Now this is a bit special at $85, and you can say, hey, what does it bring to the table compared to other 3 variants of the same haul? The answer is EMP. So right now the Avenger Warlock has the best EMP in game, and it's very cheap for $85 compared to the other EMP ships. So for me, I would say don't buy it with real money, buy it in game. Pick the Avenger Titan, because if it comes to weapon system, it's all the same. The only difference is it's the whole specific weapon, which is the EMP. But you know what, the Avenger Titan would earn you the same amount of AUEC in game versus the Avenger Warlock, so no difference there. So take the cheaper option, that's for sure. Moving on to the Eclipse. Now this guy is as all you can see, it's a stealth bomber. $300. Yeah, personally, I say skip. It is a nice ship, cool ship, but stealth bomber, it's just a bomber. If you want to use it for PvE event, it's actually very good. But $300, yeah, you're gonna pay a lot of money for those torpedoes. It's an S9 torpedo, and it's nice, delicious. But $300, there are better bomber options. Moving on to the light fighter, the Gladius. Now this is technically the golden child for Star Citizen and Squadron 42. And technically speaking, if I were to pick between all the light fighters. Right now, the cheapest light fighter you can get is the Anvil Arrow at $75. With $15 extra, you can get the Gladius. And personally, Gladius, it's a much better ship overall. Sure, the Arrow is much more agile, but a little bit more weaker on the armor department, whereas the I think armor and shield, I need to double check on the stats, but it's just a little bit weaker for its, to compensate for its maneuverability, whereas the Gladius, it's balanced all across the board. And there will be one more light fighter that will be from Drake, and that one has more firepower and everything is weak, and depends how you want to play it. But for me, Gladius is actually a staple ship, right? It's a very nice ship. $90. I think my go-to light fighter recommendation will always forever be Gladius, followed by Arrow, depends on your budget. Yeah. Moving on to the Gladius Valayan, this is basically a much more better loadout compared to the stock Gladius, and a little bit different paint job. Personally, it's hard to see what extra paint job do you have inside here, so it's an easy skip for me. Just pick the normal Gladius. Unless it's a pirate Gladius, then that's a full red paint job you can't get anywhere else. Now that one is nice. Sadly, we don't have it here right now. A bit tough. Next, move on to the Hammerhead at $725. This is a lot of ship, and unfortunately, I could not recommend this ship, $725, unless you really have a party to play with. Yes, but at the same time, would you pay $725? Answer is no. I would like you to get a more cheaper Hammerhead, and that's why we want to do a lot of daily Warborn ship upgrade purchase as best as you can. I think we can we can hammer the price down to probably $400 ish, depending on how we're gonna play. I think the lowest we can hammer down, okay, so we can hammer down Carrack to half price, which is $300, and then I think you need to pay $125 to upgrade to the Hammerhead, not counting a few. Yeah, there's no discount in between, unfortunately. So $425, yep, we can get it sub $500, so that's for sure. And I recommend that instead, rather than paying $725 outright. Right, play the long game, but this is a very nice ship. If you can afford this ship, it is fantastic. And if you have a group to play with, chef kiss. Mwah. Moving on to the Idris P. Now this ship is one of my favorite ships in the game, or rather the ship that I want to get. Unfortunately, at $1,005, I can't afford it. It is a nice little pocket carrier. No, this is a try and true pocket carrier. It has a proper fighter hangar bay, a nice little railgun. Unfortunately, the Idris P is not a railgun version. It's a stripped down version of the actual Idris, which is Idris M. But for me, 1,005 mobile base with fighter hangar capability, not one, not two, but 3 fighters can fit inside its belly. It is a very, very nice mobile base. Personally, I would love to get it. 1,005, better options elsewhere, or rather spend your money elsewhere. And of course, we have the Javelin. It is a destroyer from Aegis Dynamics. Now this one is a bit special. $3,000, I will never recommend to anyone else, and it's personally, this is too much of a ship. I love it, and the best part is it has a tour in the Invictus launch week event as well. You can tour inside the Javelin, and it is sweet. The only problem is $3,000, and it's not. It's currently in production. It's not flyable yet. Same goes to the Idris. And $3,000. If you really want to commit $3,000, I would say pick the Idris instead. The Idris has much more utility versus the Javelin. The Javelin is outright military pew pew, and it has a lot of guns, like lots and lots of guns. Crazy. It's a crazy ship. Moving on to the Nautilus. Now this ship is a little bit special in my heart because of the design and of course its mine laying capability. We have an auto turret plus a mine, or well, we have 2 variants right now, auto turret or mine. And now this one sadly is still in concept. We do not know how the remote mines and a remote turret works, but if let's say Alright, let's put it this way. This is just a little bit of theory crafting, and I don't like to speculate as much. If the remote mine works like what I think it is, like you mine up the whole area and then you just auto track everybody, and then the question is how far can it track? Normally it's about 10 kilometers. Yeah, it's actually quite interesting. The only downside is this is not a PvE ship, which makes me a little bit sad because I want to play everything PvE. It has a nice nose cannon. Unfortunately, that's not pilot control. You need a dedicated gunner. In this case, the Nautilus, unfortunately, it's a simple pass for solo pilot. Again, $725. I would say get the Hammerhead instead if you really want to buy. Yeah, the tactical mine layer and sweeper for Nautilus. Yeah, it's a bit tough, little bit tough. Moving on to the Redeemer. Now this one is a community ship. It is a gunship right now compared to its previous iteration or previous concept ship, which is a drop ship. And this ship is awesome. Again, if you have a crew to crew a Hammerhead but you do not have the money to buy a Hammerhead, the Redeemer is a solid second choice, right? Compared to the Anvil Valkyrie, the Redeemer is actually a very solid choice. Very, very solid, right? One or the other. Plus, it's cheaper, $325. If you want to go to the Valkyrie, it's $375. That one has vehicle carry capability. To me, yeah, it's one or the other, and personally, yeah, $325. If you have a group, I don't mind picking it up, but let's go for the next option because we have a nicer option, which is the Retaliator. Now this ship is awesome and I love it. $150, you get the stripped down version of the Retaliator. This is a gunship and a modular ship as well. So right now the modules are torpedo bay, we have living quarters, we have cargo, and we have troop carrying capability functions. I'm going to call it function instead. Basically, you have a lot of mods. $150 gets you the bare bone, and this is actually a gunship, which is similar to the Redeemer but 2 times cheaper. Personally, I would say grab this instead. This is hands down one of the best ship from Aegis Dynamics that I can easily say grab it. $150 might be a bit too expensive for a base version because we have the Retaliator bomber, which is the bomber version. For extra $125, you get 2 bomber module. Right now it's not swappable yet, and it can carry up to 9 torpedoes. Was it 9? I'm going to say 9 torpedoes first because that was the last, or is it 6? Because each bay can carry 3 technically. Because the Eclipse can carry 3, so let's go with the bomber the Retaliator can carry 6, just for the sake of simple math. Because last I think is 9. I'm going to double check. 6 size 9 torpedoes, $275. It is literally better than Eclipse already, and this is the ship to get when you have a party because it's just outright awesome. Personally, but I would just say grab the base. The base first. Once the module is out, then only you can decide, okay, maybe I should get a bomber. But yeah. And next, moving on to the Saber. Now this is the F7CM Super Hornet, can say rival? Alternative. It is a combat stealth fighter. This ship is awesome. If you don't want to pay a little bit more for a F7CM Super Hornet, that one has more armor, same amount of weaponry, and I think it's $5 more, $175. All right, $5 more for heavier armor, same weaponry. Whereas the Saber is stealth capability, same armaments, right? And it's $5 cheaper. Sure, because of its stealth capability, the armor is a little bit weaker. Personally, I think both ships are awesome, and if I can have 1 or 2 ships, actually I want both because they have foldable wings, and I'm a sucker for foldable wings. Saber Comet 185 is basically a different loadout, and with a nice tactical camo skin. So this one's a bit tough. This one is a little bit tough. The armament is actually quite decent, but I would say my pick goes to, again, base version because we don't need fancy dancy skin, and in space, skin doesn't really matter unless it's a bright white skin. nah, you're gonna play stealth fighter anyway, so it's gonna be hard to track on radar unless it's within what it is? Eye range, visible range. Great. Moving on to the Vanguard series. Now we have the Vanguard Harbinger, $290. This is a bomber version. We have the Vanguard Hoplite, $223. This is a troop carrying dropship. And then we have a $275. This one has a special upgrade offer only for today. Vanguard Sentinel. This one has an EMP module. You do take note. And then last we have the Vanguard Warden, $260 base version. Personally, the Vanguard series is one of the best heavy fighter ship that I can easily recommend, whether you're a solo pilot or if you're gonna play with friends, because this ship has a lot of pew pew power. In fact, it has one of the best or the biggest gun that you can mount on the nose of the turret, and it's nose hard point with pilot control weaponry, or it's pilot control. I don't know how to put it this way. Basically, you can shoot those big guns. Plus, it has a turret up there. So this is awesome. Plus, it is technically a long-range fighter. It has bed, so you can log in, log off inside of it. And to top it off, it has a little bit of space for you to put cargo. Technically, it doesn't really have cargo space, but it has some room for you to put a box or two. So this is actually a very good pick. Personally, right, Vanguard Warden, if you're a little bit tight on cash, I would say go for the Vanguard Sentinel because we have a upgrade offer. And how much does it cost if we were to buy the Sentinel outright? Upgrade now, because we want to check. We really want to check. Then two options. $260. This is a no-brainer right now. All right, so it has the same price with a Warden. I would say pick up the Vanguard Sentinel instead. The main reason why you should pick up the Vanguard Sentinel because of the same price tag is that it has an EMP. So this is the most expensive EMP ship in the game right now. Is it better than the Titan Warlock? Titan Warlock. Avenger Warlock? The answer is not really. The Warlock is still better, but because it has better weaponry, hands down, good ship. Very good ship. The Hoplite, I would say skip, because if you want to play dropship, I would say go for the Redeemer instead. If you want to play bomber, yeah, I would say skip, go for the Retaliator instead. Cheaper, much cheaper. Alright, and that's that. Moving on to the last one, which is the Vulcan. Now, Vulcan is in its concept, it's $200. Technically, this is a utility ship. It's a medium repair and medium refuel ship. And that's about it. Actually, it's repair, refuel, and rearm. I don't know why they have two different things. Yeah, technically this is a utility ship. So normally utility ship is for bigger organization or bigger group play, and if you are more towards guerrilla warfare, tactical guerrilla warfare, hit and run. If you are more to a hit and run type of group play, the Vulcan is actually a good pick. And $200, this thing will go up in price. Most likely go up to $250. Yeah, I think at most will be $250. Least most likely is I'm gonna say $225. $225 is my speculation, but it can go as high as $250. Yeah, I think so. Depending on how it goes. And that's that for the Aegis show list or ship list. Now let's move on to the Vanguard Sentinel. Yep, we already say Sentinel is awesome. Awesome possum. Special offers, we usually skip the special offers because we don't really need offers. Now let's move to the most important part. Let's go to the pledge store. It's the last part of the PSA, and that is the ship packages or game package or discounted package for you out there. So do note that this is the best time to get into Star Citizen because you can get all this ship already get into the game with a cheaper value. Start off with the C8X Pisces Invictus starter pack at $45, Avenger Titans Invictus starter pack at $63. And yeah, I would easily say pick the Avenger Titan because it's just good. But if you're a little bit tight on budget, the Pisces actually is quite good as well. But instead of picking just the starter pack, I would recommend picking the starter pack plus Squadron 42 combo, because it's just way better, and of course it has single player in the Star Citizen universe, and it's only $20 more. Personally, I think it's a no-brainer, and I think you just need to spend this much. Sure, $83 is a little bit more than a typical AAA game base, but if you start putting in the deluxe version, ultimate edition, gold edition, whatnot, it ended up in the same ballpark. Plus you're getting 2 games with the price of 1, technically. And of course, for new players out there, if you're going to join Star Citizen and you're going to register a new account, please use a referral code, preferably mine. If you don't want to use mine, that's totally fine. You can use other people's referral code as long as you use a referral code. And that's all I have for you for today. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and help this channel grow. Until then, I will see you guys in the next Invictus launch week. Well, tomorrow we'll probably have a quick Warborn daily deal for what's coming up. Let's do a quick speculation, shall we? Quick one before we end the video. I know today's video is a little bit too long than for my liking, but if you're gonna go for ship tips and tricks, yeah, the Aegis is actually quite good. So we got this nailed down. I don't think it's gonna be Avenger Titans, no. Eclipse, no. Gladius has a... yeah, Gladius is a good candidate. Definitely not any of this. Redeemer could be a good candidate. The Bomber, so Saber can be a good candidate. But so right now we have the Sentinel. So Sentinel, this is good because we already have a heavy fighter. If we have a heavy fighter, the next best daily Warborn deal, I'm gonna be more inclined to Saber. You know what? I would say it's in between Redeemer and the Gladius. I'm gonna say most likely it's gonna be the Gladius, because Gladius is a more it's more towards player friendly, and it's the, again, poster child. So I'm gonna say this first. Number 1, it will be Gladius, followed by the Redeemer. Yeah. And the Bomber, yeah, I'm tied between these two right now. Has potential. This two has really potential to be the next daily Warborn deal. You know what? I'm gonna stick to my guts and I'm gonna say Gladius instead. Right? Gladius first, number 2 Redeemer. And that's all I have for you for today. Until then, fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse. Sadly, there's no in-game recording for that. A bit tough.